So it's finally come to this. Today, we will be reviewing the abomination that is Angela Anaconda. Ugh. For those of you who don't know who Angela Anaconda is, Angela Anaconda first appeared as a short that played before the opening of the Digimon movie, as if that movie wasn't already hard enough to sit through. And considering that everyone agrees that that was the worst part of the Digimon movie, and that this is primarily the reason why many people don't revisit that movie, it only seems right to just give it a full cartoon series. Ugh, let's just get this mess over with. Today, we will be reviewing the episode Hot Bob and Chocolate. And why are we reviewing this particular episode, you might be wondering? Well, it's for the same reason why I'm reviewing this show at all. I downloaded this episode, yes, I downloaded this episode years ago to use as a joke in some of my reviews. Canada, the very same country that has given us such great animated classics like Chop Socky Chooks, Braceface, Almost Naked Animals, Johnny Test, Super Noobs, and oh god. So I figured since this episode was already burning a hole in my computer's hard drive, I might as well make a video covering it. So anyways, let's get started. Let's start off with the obvious. Yes, this show's art style is an ungodly abomination to animation in general. And saying that this show's art style is enough to traumatize a child well into their adult years is a massive understatement. However, while everyone can agree that the art style is absolutely terrible, I actually have to give the show credit for at least trying to be original. The show attempted a style that you don't really see much on TV, and the fact that they attempted to be original rather than going for a more common art style makes me respect it just a little more. When you see the network being flooded with the CalArts animation style, you start to have more respect for those who try to be original. Even if it's a colossal failure like this, they still took a risk by doing something original, and that's not lost on me. I hope you enjoyed the one sort of positive note I made about this show, because trust me, you won't be hearing any more from me. We begin the episode in Angela Anaconda's class, where they are playing a word unscrambling game, and already we have something bad to talk about.
And of today, we are playing Mrs. Brinks' Unscrambled the Scrambled Flashcard Sentence Game. I, Angela Anaconda, am the Tapwater Undisputed Springs of Champ Unscrambling. In other words...
I absolutely hate the show's writing. The dialogue in this show is written so pretentiously that I can't go a second without grinding my teeth in annoyance. It's terrible.
Very funny whoever did this, but enough is enough on account of it has gone on long enough. So if you don't really mind, I am never going to live this down. On account of nobody ever forgets anything, and they will never let me forget it.
I think they tried to make the dialogue quirky, but all they managed to do was to make it tedious to sit through. It's even worse of a problem since none of the characters in the show are even remotely likable. Everyone just acts like a complete jerk without even the slightest ounce of redeemable character traits, with the worst of them having to be Angela Anaconda herself. When the characters are written so poorly, with the main character being the most unlikable, self-entitled prick, you know the rest of the writing is going to be equally bad. The episode starts with a 25 seconds of Angela bragging about how she's the best at the letter unscrambling game, only then to screw up on her turn by spelling out, "I love Bob and hot chocolate." The other students make fun of her error and tease her all day about being in love with Bob, who doesn't actually exist. Now, at first, it seems like an interesting setup. It's common for kids to try and tease another kid by saying something does or doesn't exist in order to make them think that they're crazy. Tell me how I know. A similar situation happened to me in first grade. We were learning about four-leaf clovers on St. Patrick's Day, and I started talking about all of the four-leaf clovers I found at my grandma's house. All of my classmates started telling me that four-leaf clovers weren't real and that they were just made up in stories. Obviously, they are real, but when 15 other kids gang up on you telling you that they aren't, the mob mentality effect it starts to make you question even what you know is a fact. I told them I prove it by finding a four-leaf clover and a clover patch by the school's playground during recess, but I spent the whole recess looking through that patch and didn't find a four-leaf clover. That really started to make me think I was crazy, and you can bet the first graders really laid it on to me when I couldn't find one. Moral of the story is that I'm a full-grown adult now, and I can pick all the four-leaf clovers I damn well please, so I don't need anyone telling me whether they're real or not. Anyways, this setup is relatable enough, but don't you worry, because it gets dumb real fast. As the students continue to tease Angela about Bob, everyone actually starts to believe Bob is a real person. And yeah, that's basically all the episode is. People start to think Bob is real, and Angela's rival gets jealous and starts pretending to date Bob too. And yeah, that's all the episode is. There's no real story to it, and it's all just pointless filler. The only other noteworthy scene near the end is when Angela has a really odd fantasy. So it has Angela playing the word unscrambling game with her rival as a card. It has her getting beat up before turning her into a baby. And then finally, it has Angela flicking her baby rival off of a cliff. It's such a strange and out-of-nowhere scene that it seems a little psychotic. The episode ends with Angela breaking up with Bob, getting sent to the guidance counselor for breaking up with a piece of cardboard, and the episode leaves us with a surprise twist as we discover that a new kid named Bob had just moved to their school. And that was Angela and Anaconda. So, yeah, while everyone can agree the animation is horrific, it should be noted that the show's writing matches the show's art style. The characters are all terrible, the dialogue is tedious, and the plots are just bland with no real substance. Nothing happens in this episode beyond kids teasing Angela for her mistake, and then kids actually believing what they were saying to the point that one girl sends herself flowers pretending it was from Bob to try and hurt Angela's feelings. It's such a dumb episode, and I legitimately feel ashamed that I've had it on my computer these past few years. I've reviewed a lot of shows over the years that I feel like I should go back to another day to review another episode. But this is a show that I never want to come back to review. So take it as my thought about recommending this show to any of you. Do I recommend it? No! God, no! Just no! Move on! Move on to any other show. You are missing literally nothing by not watching this show. I guarantee it. Don't even search it up. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to subscribe to help support future content on this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Wait, hold on. Don't click off just yet. There actually is a moral to this story. As awful as a show this is, it does talk about believing in your own facts. You know, fact check, the four-leaf clovers? Yeah, I know they're real. I don't care. I'm a full-grown adult now. Those four-leaf clovers are real. So those 15 children telling me they're not real, well, who's laughing now, huh? I'm making YouTube videos. So those four-leaf clovers, they're real, guys. Go outside, touch some grass, and look up some goddamn four-leaf clovers. They're real. They're real, I'm telling you.